coming back.
At the gates of Qarth, we found that they had this extraordinary area that they're getting ready to turn into a cemetery. And it's all be completely flattened. It was perfect.
Danny and her Kalashar tried to get entrance. The 13 come out to greet them outside the gates. Well, it did start off with like 13 coming out through the gates, and then it became 33, their guards, etc. So we had a drawing and a concept done in Belfast, and then transpired before we shot that it wasn't going to be big enough. So we had to expand that. Now we finished up from being a 65-foot kind of run-off set to being over 100-foot. We had very ornate gates, which were kind of a combination of mythical creatures and then our craftsmith in Belfast put that together. They arrived as a plaster finish, and our HOD painters here put a nice metal brass kind of sheen to them, so all very authentic looking.
And I always, in my head, saw Qarth as a sort of mirage. So with that in mind, it's a sort of case of talking to Gemma about the architecture, obviously the climate. We started actually with the fabrics, really. We dyed all the silk and then printed, it's almost like gilded gates on it. And then I had a painter who came in and actually painted the sort of fronds and the flowers and the gold behind the gate. With their underskirts, we actually had them baked in clay and then shook them out, and so it gives this lovely crumpled sort of weight to the fabric that you really can't get any other way. And then with those costumes, I wanted them to be able to worn in different ways, so when they come out of the gate they lift it up over their heads and it protects them from the heat, and other times they can be down and then the jacket takes prominence. And then again I wanted it to be like a facade, like a theatrical piece, so that when they turn around a lot of the backs are just linen or hessian, or so it's all a front, it's all a show. We used lots of just actually quite interesting techniques this time. It was a long process to get to the Qarth costumes, longer than we actually, I think, really thought it would be, but sometimes you have to let things evolve in that way. You know, there was no simple route to getting them how I wanted them to be.